So this is a very off the cuff of my head type idea I thought about when it comes to the NFL Pro Bowl. I have kind of a weird, funny solution, right? Because I know that we all know that the Pro Bowl has become less and less of a thing as years go by. The ratings, like, there's no way to sugarcoat it around it. The Pro Bowl is falling apart in the NFL. And I have a really funny idea. So hear me out on this, right? What if, because of the World Cup hype that happens, over the summer, what if we kind of do like a group stage thing? Okay, hear me out on this. You do your typical AFC and NFC voting. You get your full roster, traditional AFC roster, NFC roster. Go back to just regular AFC and NFC roster. And then you have a third roster. Now this is where it gets fun, right? You get a third roster. And the third roster is like a living legends roster. Anyone who is retired at least in the last year, right? Who retired before the season began, right? But anyone who wants to play, let's still keep it kind of flag football rules, but full 11-on-11 flag football. So a full offensive line, full defense line, full game, but kind of like that flag football semi-tackle vibe, right? Flag football play when it comes to tackling, but full 11-man roster. So if you're someone who's a retired NFL guy, it has to be a former Pro Bowler who retired before the season started. Put their name into a bucket in a list. And so it said, here's your potential pool of living legends, right, who can make up this roster. And then you do the voting the traditional way, players, coaches, and fans. So just do the typical voting. You create a living legends roster. So you have 3 teams. You got the AFC, NFC, and a living legends Pro Bowl team. And then what you do is you kind of do like a mini group stage where what happens is that you can do it all in one day too. Everyone plays 11-on-11 flag football, regular football rules, just with flags instead of tackling, kicks, punts, everything, kickoff, field goals. Every rule still applies like a regular football game, except tackling is now handling by a flag, right? Don't go into flag football rules, traditional football rules. Time stoppages, when it goes out of bounds, injury, like regular time, but you only make the game 30 minutes. It's half a game. Full 15 minutes, give it let's say it's like 15-minute halves, right? Instead of quarters, it's half. 15-minute half, same system. Let's put a 2-minute warning there too. Let's say at 2 timeouts per half quarter, 15-minute quarter, right? 10, 15-minute halftime, and then you do a second half, 15 minutes. Simple system, right? The first one you do is the AFC, NFC, the traditional Pro Bowl groups. Those two start off, and winner gets 3 points and loser gets 0 points, right? Keep it like a group stage like we do like in the FIFA World Cup. So the first game will be AFC, NFC, and then the second game will be the Living Legends versus either AFC, NFC, and then the third game will be Living Legends versus the AFC, the other team, the AFC or the NFC, right? So all 3 of them will play the same flag football rules. So there's full motion. There's not going to be no offensive and defensive line thing. No, it is full 11-on-11 football, but with flag football tackling. Everything else still applies. Once you get those games done, you take the top 2 teams. And this is where you can do some really interesting things with this. This is going to be like who's going to be the championship, right? It'd be really funny if the Living Legends team makes it to like the final game. That'd be really cool, okay? But you do that. So there's excitement, right? There's stakes. And so what you do is that now you do I have 2 ideas to this, right? Comment what you think could work best. You could either do, number 1 would be kind of like your college football overtime rules where everyone starts, let's say everyone starts on like the 35-yard line, and it's a traditional snake format. Team A goes and team B, then team B, then team A goes back and forth like college. And it's like a point system where you have to hit up the first team to hit 21 points wins, right? In a standard college football overtime. But you don't do like the double overtime rules where it's like after everyone scored like twice, you do like a 2-point conversion. No, just every possession starts back at like the 35-yard line. And no field goals. Oh, no, field goals can work. Yeah, that's right. So the typical thing, it's 6 points is 6 points for a touchdown, offensive touchdown. If it's returned, that's another 6 points, for a defense. So it's whoever gets the 21 points first. We could do that, but still the same flag football rules. Pick a side, we just go back and forth until someone's a winner. The second option, which I think is kind of very unique and different, everyone starts, it's the same point. There's a point system. I think it's like we could do it where let's say it's 30 points, 30-point system, right? And what happens is that in this second version, every team who's the offense starts on their own 10-yard line, and they have to go the distance. They have regular four downs to get to the next first down. And here's the thing. It's a point system based off first downs. Every time you pass 10 yards, so you start on the 10-yard line, every time you pass 10 yards from there, whether it's in one play or a couple plays, however long it takes, you get a point. So a full 10-yard march all the way down to a touchdown, that would be 9 total points. A touchdown would be 9 points because you're adding up all the distance you're doing. And you can punt the ball if you want, which would make no sense because the defense would get the ball back at their 10-yard line. So would punting really matter here? But here's the kicker. So you get 4 downs to get to the next 10 yards. And wherever you stop, that's it. You only get up to a certain point. So if you start at the 10-yard line and the offensive team only makes it to their 40-yard line, that's 20, 30, 40. They only get 3 points in that possession. And then the defense gets their ball back at the 10-yard line. Kind of goes back and forth, right? Here's the kicker on field goals. Field goals can still be 3 yards. Sorry, the AC kind of turned off, so that's why I'm sweating right now. So field goals still count as 3 points, but here's the rule. You can't kick the ball once you get past your 40, what was it? I think it's like the 47-yard line. Once you get past the 47-yard line, the opponent's 47-yard line, you can't kick a field goal. Because I think at 47 yards, that's when you count the distance between like the end zone plus the 7 yards that the kicker sits back, where the ball is actually kicked. I think at the 47-yard line, I might be wrong on the math, but correct me if I'm right or wrong on this. On your own 47-yard line is a kick that is 60 yards. That's a 60-yard field goal. Once you pass the 47-yard line, you can't kick a field goal. You can't punt it. You have to go. So if your team makes it all the way up to that point and they can't get past, they break it on fourth downs, that's it. They can't kick a field goal once they get closer. You can only kick a field goal before you hit your opponent's 47-yard line, which means you have to make a 60-yarder or longer. So now field goals are worth more because they're a guaranteed 3 points, but it's really hard to get it. You see what I'm saying? And you do this until a team hits 30 points. That's the second overtime rules. So I was thinking, which version of those overtimes would be better? Kind of a college football rules where it's just you score until someone hits 21 points. Or would you do this second version that I just made up where it's like every 10 yards of advancement that an offense gets is a point. And there's a cap at how far you can actually start. There's a cap at what point that you can't kick a field goal once you're closer in the red zone, right? So the red zone extends much bigger at that point. And I was thinking, because the idea also with the 3 rosters, with the AFC, the NFC, and the Living Legends, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a fun idea that just came off the top of my head. It's like, that would be really cool for the Pro Bowl. I remember growing up that the Pro Bowl kind of meant something. It was cool. There was fun to it. And eventually just kind of died off. And this whole thing now with like the flag football and the Pro Bowl game, that's not good. Even the ratings prove it's not good. I heard that like there was like a 40% drop in like the ratings from the Pro Bowl before and this last Pro Bowl. It was a disaster. Like, it's not working. So go back to regular football with a flag football. Like, that way, if the guys are concerned about injuries and stuff, fine. Take the tackle out of it. Make it a flag football game, but full 11-on-11 rules, but with a flag instead of tackling. And then you add a third roster, the Living Legends, right? All the guys that are retired that said, I want to play a little bit. I want to play in a kind of this semi-fun, semi-tackle type football. It's not full-on football. It's kind of like a half tackle football thing. It's flag football. So there's less, injury prone ability, right? For these guys who are retired. But it's still fun. That'd be really cool. I think that'd be cool. And then the overtime rules would be fun. So I want to know what you guys think. This is very much an off the top of my head type video. I'm just curious. I want to hear what you guys have to say. If this is a good idea, if it's stupid, it makes no sense at all, what you would change. And see you guys in the next video.